Did you know our species came close to extinction before humans even appeared? Stay with me, and you'll discover how death shaped our history, almost ending it before it even began. Death was merciless to our oldest known ancestor, Australopithecus afarensis. Before civilization, before fear even had a name, before we were human, there was death. It was there, patient, watching, waiting, lurking in every corner. The world 3 million years ago was unforgiving. Open plains where every movement could be seen. Sparse forests where the sound of leaves gave away your presence. There was no mercy. Giant hyenas, ancestral big cats, eagles capable of carrying off children everywhere, hunters hungry and relentless. Australopithecus afarensis was a small primate, standing between 3 and 5 feet tall, weighing 55 to 140 pounds. They walked during the day, eating grasses, roots, and fruit. At night, they likely sought safety in trees, hoping to escape predators. But there were no safe shelters, no weapons of metal, no fire for protection, only instinct, speed, and the hope of not being seen or smelled. The odds were against them. Death was a constant presence. Most died very young, only a few reached adulthood. Our lineage almost ended. Death nearly wiped us out before we began. But why was death so successful in destroying our ancient ancestor? Imagine a creature that seemed ill-suited for its environment. A small skull, long arms, a cone-shaped rib cage like an ape's, but with a spine, pelvis, and knees closer to ours. Weaker and less agile than modern great apes, with smaller, less threatening canine teeth, built for upright walking, but probably unable to travel long distances on the ground. They carried only the most primitive version of what would one day become our greatest weapon, the brain. Australopithecus afarensis had a brain no larger than that of a modern chimpanzee. They may have used basic tools, though we lack fossil proof. Much like chimpanzees today who can use rudimentary tools, it's likely our ancestors did too. But nothing that could truly protect them in such a hostile world. They did not control fire. They built no shelters. They were exposed, clinging to trees or perhaps caves, hoping to hide from predators. And death came not only with claws and fangs. Accidents and infections were constant killers. A fall from a tree or cliff, a wound that festered, a broken bone. Any of these could mean the end. For children, survival was even more unlikely. With slower reflexes and fragile immune systems, they were easy prey for both predators and disease. Though there is no exact data, fossil records suggest infant mortality was extreme. 1 in 3 never reached their first birthday. More than half died before the age of 5. Australopithecus afarensis stood halfway between ape and human. Not strong, not fast like the great apes. Not intelligent like its descendants would be. But they did show what may be the single trait that allowed us to endure. Legendary resilience. Stubborn primates who refused to vanish. In 1974, archaeologists discovered 40% of the skeleton of a remarkably preserved Australopithecus afarensis female. She was nicknamed Lucy. Decades later, CT scans revealed something shocking. Deep fractures in her bones, consistent with a fall from a great height. Did she lose her balance? Unlikely. Australopithecus afarensis, though they walked upright, were skilled climbers. The answer may lie in another fossil discovery found nearby. Not far from Lucy's resting place, archaeologists unearthed the remains of 13 individuals of the same species, dead around the same time. The find became known as the first family. Broken bones, tooth marks, no signs of deliberate burial. Some scientists believe this was the work of predators in an overkill event, when an animal kills far more than it needs to eat. A massacre, frozen in time. Lucy may have fallen while trying to escape the same fate. Picture her running, light feet pounding the ground, breath ragged, heart racing. Behind her, a roar, a great predator perhaps, or something worse. The tree is her last hope. She climbs, hands and feet gripping the bark, sharp nails digging in. But predators can wait. They don't need to chase, only surround. From above, Lucy feels the wind. She smells death rising from below. Maybe she tried to leap to another tree. Maybe she slipped. The fall was quick. The impact, fatal. And then, silence. Lucy's death is not just an ancient event. It's a brutal reminder. For most of our history, we were prey. Our story is written in broken bones, in tooth marks, in eternal silence. Every step we take today, safe in our homes, shielded by our technology, rests on the shoulders of generations who ran, hid, fought, and ultimately met death in the jaws and claws of terrible beasts. And yet, Australopithecus afarensis endured. Despite everything, they survived for nearly 1 million years. But eventually, a new kind of hominin emerged. More skilled, more curious, and carrying a secret weapon, tools. In the next episode, we'll travel back 2.4 million years to meet Homo habilis and see how death itself was transformed by them. If the story of our most distant ancestor made you think, just imagine what else the dead can tell us. Subscribe, hit the bell, and get ready to discover the many faces death has worn through time. What mask did it wear as it walked beside us, evolving with us? Stay tuned for the evolution of death.